victory. Your victory was so close. I wish you could have lived to see it. But you belong to Reach. Your body, your armor, all burned and turned to glass. Everything. Except your courage. That you gave to us. And with it, we can rebuild.
Hey guys, Gaines here. Today I wanted to do overall thoughts and opinions on the tech preview. So for this video, I'm actually going to be having my gameplay as an overview rather than me just bobbing my head, because I know y'all want to see that, see some gameplay rather than just see me doing this the entire time. By the way, this is also as you can tell by me saying I'm doing this without a script this time around, and it's just because I want to give like a more personal, I guess, feeling to how I felt about this preview, because I got a lot to unpack here. So I guess let's get into it. All right, so I'm just gonna start out by saying overall, this was like I had so much fun. Like I haven't had this much fun in it with a video game in like a very long time. And the best part is that like I was alone. Like I didn't play with any of my friends. I didn't because like none of my friends either cared about Halo enough or didn't sign up for the preview. So it was really just me, and I had so much fun just like on my own. Now, to be fair, I was streaming, so you guys would come and watch, and so I'd have a little bit of an audience, so it kind of encouraged me to have a little bit more fun, I guess. But it still was really fun, just like even on my own, like even off stream, because I did play a decent amount off stream. In fact, it was based on the title, over 20 hours of streaming or playing. Sorry, I messed up. But anyways, yes. So I'm just gonna start by I guess peeling off the band-aid, just kind of go over the cons. And that's, I think, just don't get angry with me, guys. It is a technical preview, so the point of the technical previews is for 343 to get feedback from us. So this is simply me giving my feedback, and it's not that. I promise you, it's not that bad. It's really just like really small things that like I know they'll most likely fix by launch. So the first thing I kind of had a problem with was the servers. It was just kind of annoying that every other game, sometimes like if I would start up the game, it would always say server problems, or it wouldn't work, and sometimes it would actually just it would take me into a loading screen, but then it would never get me into the game, and then it'd kick me out for inactivity, and that was just kind of annoying to deal with. Another big thing that I had a handful of problems with was hit registration. There were multiple times that I definitely got a kill and I didn't, and it was very frustrating sometimes. One of them was literally me shooting a literal rocket launcher at a bot, and they literally took no damage. In fact, I'll play it now. Where? Yeah! Oh my god. That was freaking amazing. I don't even care. I don't care how basic it was. That was freaking cool. Even though I completely missed some. Eat it. Take this out. I kind of like this AI now. What the f- Okay, 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 alright, alright, alright. Y'all saw that bullshit. That's bullshit. A literal rocket to his fucking face, and he just ate it and was like, I am unflinched. Like, that's bullshit. And then there were other times, like when I'd shoot the skewer, and it would literally show, like, the stake or whatever inside of the Spartan, but then, you know, like, he'd just be running around like he never got hit, and it'd just be kind of annoying. Sometimes when I'd actually shoot the skewer, it just, like, it wouldn't even give me, like, the sound. It would just, like, fire. It would just, like, make me reload the gun, and that would just, it was annoying. Like, it was just annoying. It wasn't like, oh god, I hate this game or whatever because of, you know, that. So, yeah. Audio problems was kind of a big deal. So, anytime I joined a game in, like, an in-match game that a game had already started, I would always, like, always have audio problems. It would always, like, involve like everything but, like, the dialogue would be like not muted completely, but it'd be, like, I guess muffled or lowered. So it'd just be kind of really weird because then I'd be, like, playing, and the thing I'd be hearing the most would be literally, like, Spartans grunting or you know, talking and such. So it was just kind of a weird bug that like I said, I'm sure they'll fix by the time the game comes out. A few issues with the UI. They sometimes, like, I'd go to one screen, and then if I'd go to, like, the play screen, it'd, like, give this, like, gray, like, kind of this gray interface. I don't know. I mean, if I just switch back over to, like, the customize or something and then go back, then it'd fix it, but just small things, like I said, giving feedback. One big thing that I definitely noticed was that this game is, like, the preview was not optimized. Like, I have, like, I was running it on my PC, and I have, like, a pretty good PC. I have a 3060 Ti GPU, and my CPU is a Ryzen 9. I want to say 3900. I'd have to recheck. Sorry, I don't keep track of the CPU. It's always the GPU that I'm keeping track of. But anyways, like, pretty, like, high-end stuff, pretty high-tech stuff. So I'm just saying, like, the fact that I was running the game at 2K and the highest frames I got was, like, maybe 55 or so, it was kind of annoying. Because, like, I'd have a lot of times when I'd be playing it, it'd actually have, like, frame drops, and it got kind of annoying. So, I mean, like I said, it's probably just, you know, something that they will, you know, fix by the time the game launches. I hope so, because I kind of would hate to have, you know, this pretty darn good PC and not be able to run Halo Infinite at 2K and, like, I don't know, 120 hertz or 120 frames. So I do hope they do that. I'll talk about graphics for a bit, for just a second. There were, like, I'd say, like, so Halo Follower kind of pointed this out, which I kind of agree with. Some of the Spartans kind of look a little bit chalky. It's just a little bit weird. Some of the models just, like, don't look all too great. It's kind of hard to explain, though, because maybe that's, like, how they're trying to go about doing it. I'm not sure. It's not like super buggy or, like, super annoying to me. It's just kind of, like, the shading is a little bit weird. Like the blue, like, seeing the bots, it was kind of weird because, like, the blue that they, like, wear, like, or they wore was, like, kind of, I don't know, like, a little dark or something. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it just didn't, like, look super refined. Which you know, who knows? Maybe that's what they're trying to go for. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, from like a model perspective, it was kind of weird, but like I'd say from like a graphical, like the maps and such, they look great. Like, if you go like look at the walls and some like the posters on like Bazaar or something, just very, very good like very good quality. So kudos to them for that. But anyways, back to the cons. There was a few times at the beginning of matches when they'd start up that, you know, it'd just be like, it wouldn't be like game breaking. It's just kind of a small little thing that I have to point out. Some maps, like sometimes it would just keep panning the camera over the map rather than like switch to the players, you know, in your Spartan introductions. So, you know, like I think it's like supposed to pan once and then it's supposed to go to your Spartans. For me, there were like multiple games, like probably every other 2 games. Well, not even, like maybe like every other game. It would like just keep panning the camera and then eventually it just like show the Spartan and then just like kind of get me into it. It was just a weird thing that I'm sure they'll fix. So yeah. But yeah, so after saying all of that, like that's pretty much all that like I had problems with. And like I said, they weren't like, it's not like anything that really like messes with the main core of the game. It was just stuff that like made it a technical preview, I guess. And I know it was a 2-month-old build and it's also a tech preview. So basically, like everything I just said, I'm sure most of what I have a problem with will be taken care of when the game launches. Hopefully. There's always a chance that it's not completely, but I am pretty darn sure that a lot of those problems will be fixed. So yeah, so that was kind of like the bad part. Like that was kind of like what I just wanted to get out of the way so I could so I could get to like the good stuff, the real good stuff, which was of course just basically everything we got our hands on. I loved it. So I'll just start pretty simple. I'm going to start with the UI. I love the UI. This was actually like exactly how I wanted it. So I wanted a UI that like was very similar to that of like either COD or even kind of like Fortnite, where you have like this nice like lobby screen where you get to see your player or you see your Spartan, and if you have friends, you can like, you know, they can join in and then you'll see them too. And they actually went they went next level for me. I wasn't expecting them, but like I never got to do this myself while I was playing, but when you have like 4 Spartans in game or in the lobby, it's really cool because you like actually get to see like all 3 of your Spartans, and they're all kind of like in these nice like casual sitting positions, and it's just so cool because like one of them will like lean on the box, and then others like literally sitting on top of the box, and I think one's like on the ground or whatever, sitting on the ground. It's got like this nice like cool casual fire team like look to it. I love that. I am so happy that they did that. I also want to point out there are memes everywhere in this game. For starters, I just want to, like, the no-scope. There's, like, the no-scope medal. I mean, that's not, like, a crazy meme, but I'm just saying, like, you know, beforehand, we've had Halo always been called Snapshot, and, like, they've, you know, the fact that we, like, finally got, like, a medal that literally is just called no-scope rather than Snapshot, I just love that. I love that we literally get, like, it just says no-scope. I don't know, it's kind of a small little thing I love. I never tried this, but I know, I think Penguin ZO, or Z0 did this. He got kicked from, one of the games for, I think, for committing suicide too many times, and it literally said, "This ain't it, Chief." And I thought that was hilarious, that they added that. There's even, like, there's also, like, little small, like, references to, like, even pop culture in the, with like the advice tabs that they like give you after like you die or something. One of my favorites was it was "Hello Goodbye" as a title. I love that because I'm a big Beatles fan, And Hello Goodbye is like one of my favorite Beatles songs, and it was just the fact that like they put that in there was just great. And they had like I Need a Weapon, and there were others. I think Folks Need Heroes. I'm not sure, but they had a lot of like references to kind of memes and also just like pop culture. I really love that they did that. So I hope they keep up with that, and they have some like pretty funny ones in there when the game launches. Music is so freaking good. When you open up the tech preview, you get to listen to that just beautiful, like not generic, but like beautiful, like just Halo theme. Like it's just Halo, you know, and it's so good. Like they got it to, it's, you know, it's new, but it feels old, but it's new, and it's so good. And then I think if you sit long enough, you actually get like the Warthog run music, and it's so good. They did a very good job. It's very reminiscent of CE's Warthog run, which I really like. I mean, personally, I love Halo 3's Warthog run music or soundtrack the best, but you know, that's just personal reference. Yeah, so that music was great. I guess, you know, before I get into all the, you know, little small stuff of, the game, I guess, I'll just kind of start with the gameplay. The gameplay was so good. So one thing that I am not, like, a big fan of and this is about some of the YouTubers, is that some of them are comparing it to like other games, and it's also just like opinions. I get it, that's their opinion, I'm fine with that. I don't like that they're trying to like compare the game to other Halo games. For me personally, in my opinion, I cannot do that. I cannot like take a look at this game and be like, oh, it feels like Halo 5, or oh, it kind of feels like Halo 3. Like, it doesn't. It doesn't feel like any other game, like any other games. It feels just like Halo. It feels like its own game and feels like Halo. It doesn't feel like any of like the specific Halo games. It just feels like Halo. Now, sure, yes, I'll agree that like there are some things that, you know, are similar in Halo Infinite to the other Halo games, but it doesn't like feel like a certain Halo game. It just feels like Halo, and I'm just saying, like, I'm not there's a few people like that. I'm not gonna name anybody, but like there's a few people that have been like saying, oh, it feels like this and feels like that. I can't do that. I can't compare it to like the other games. I try to keep an open mind when it comes to new games such as Halo Infinite. So yeah. But yeah, no. The gameplay also just feels like super kind of cinematic in a way. So I had like multiple times when I'd be like running and gunning, and it just like felt so like it felt like I was like I was recording for like a trailer for like the game. Like I was making like the gameplay scenes that like come from the trailers, because it just like it felt so like a flow. Like I'd kind of be running, and then I'd be gunning, and you know, like shoot this bot right here, and then like, you know, gun this guy down, maybe, you know, throw a grenade. It felt so good. And then like or like, you know, throw down equipment or something. It was so good. I loved that like cinematic kind of feel to it. So Sprint is great. I think this is one of their best like adaptations of Sprint like ever. Like even better than like Bungie's Sprint that they did, because like they made it to where it's like pretty much useless. It's like only like I think 15% faster than like the normal walking speed. Some people are saying 2%. I don't agree with that. Like that, I don't know. There's no way it's like a 2% different. I don't know. Maybe I think it's 15%. But anyway, anywho, it's allowed to be implemented into the game, but like not to a level that makes it like a must use. Like they kind of made it useless, but like that's what's nice. Like, it's useless, but it's there, you know? Like, and I like that. I like that, like, I can use it, you know, to, you know, some kind of go a little bit faster, but it's not to where it's like game breaking. And I love that, because then I can just, you know, like, if you don't like it, you know, you don't have to really use it, mostly. I mean, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. I'm just saying I love it. It's great. But yeah. So maps, we'll just kind of go down the line. So Livefire is easily my least favorite. I mean, and I think that was kind of expected. It's the first map we get, and it's a pretty straightforward map. I do like the design of it and like the atmosphere. I do think it's neat. It's like a nice like Spartan training ground. But to be fair, we've had a lot of those in like, you know, past few years, like, you know, with 4 and 5. So it's just kind of like annoying that we're getting another training facility, you know, like, not that like I'm against it. It's just like if like all the maps are like that, have that same like have the same atmosphere or whatever, or have that same, I guess, setting, then it kind of gets annoying, because then it's like there's no variation. But yeah, it's just kind of straightforward. There's like only one equipment, that's the drop wall, which I think was planned because they like wanted to introduce a different equipment item for each map. I'm sure once the game comes out, they'll have more different types of equipment on that map, so it'll probably be a little bit more interesting. I'm sure I wouldn't even be surprised if they have like the grapple shot in that map. I wouldn't even be surprised if it like switches. But yeah, it was a very basic map, so that's why I kind of got my my least favorite. Recharge, just might be my favorite. I'd say it's my second favorite. And it was a very, I love that. I do love the map. It's like, I love the amounts of elevation there is to it. There's there's like a bottom floor, there's a middle floor, and then there's a top floor. And, you know, they have different areas that are like that top floor, and it's really nice how they did that. Now, and one of the biggest reasons why I love this map so much is because, of course, the grapple shot was in it. And if the grapple shot wasn't in it, I probably wouldn't have nearly as much fun as I did on that map. Also in the gravity hammer being in there, that, like, made it 10 times more fun to just, like, grapple, you know, somewhere. Like I could just, like, be on the bottom floor, and then I could be running, and then, like, look up to the ceiling, grapple, and then get, like, all the way to the 3rd floor. And if I had, like, a gravity hammer, I could, like, slam somebody. It was just so, there was, like, it's so, like, I guess, clip-worthy. And I actually got a few clips, of me doing, like, cool stuff on that map. So I really do like that map. And the weapons that they have on it are pretty cool. And I really like I like the Ravager on it. It's pretty nice. But I'll get to weapons later on. So Bazaar, yeah, definitely my favorite map. I love the setting is, like, what really sells me. Literally, Streets of New Mombasa gives me such outskirt vibes. Just like all the, like, kind of like going in through different buildings and kind of going on different levels. It just takes me back, you know, to like playing classic Halo 2 with like my brother, and we'd be like going through outskirts, and I'd be just doing the mission. He'd be like running around, like parkouring everywhere, and sometimes I'd join him, sometimes I wouldn't. It was very, very awesome. And what I love most about actually just all these maps, but especially Bazaar, is that, like, the map is actually interactive. Like, you, like, throw a grenade somewhere, you could shoot somewhere, and, like, certain things will, like, actually, you know, move around. Like, they have interactive models, and it's just, like, so, it, like, really adds to the atmosphere, because it, like, and they haven't really, like, done that before. They haven't, like, I mean, sort of, maybe with, like, 3 or Reach, they've, like, kind of, like, put some, like, maybe, like, forge items in there that, like, move around so we can have a little bit of fun. But, like, this is, like, I feel like they really, like, I guess, revamped it in this game. Because, like, one of my favorite features of Bazaar is you can get, like, a rocket launcher, and they have this sign. I forgot what it says. I can't. I'd have to look back on the stream. But, like, you can shoot a rocket launcher at the sign, and, like, all the little titles on it will fall off. And I love that so much, because it just adds to that, like, immersion, and, like, how, you know, how like the world is, it's destructible, and it's kind of like it's kind of similar to, they have like it's like a Battlefield vibe where you can like kind of like do certain actions and like things will, the environment will kind of interact or react to it. Like, and they also have like little boxes of like fruits and such, and if you like threw grenades or something, you like blow up, and there's actually like and there's like a bar. I remember, I think I have a clip of it. I'll probably show it if I do, of me like running through like the tables, and it's just like so funny to listen to like the cracking of the wood as like I'm running through them, and it's so nice how like there's how the maps are very interactive like that. But yeah, that's pretty much how I felt about maps. So let's go down the line with weapons. So the AR was easily my favorite gun, like out of them all. This gun was like my best friend throughout it, and I love that because one of my biggest problems with like every other Halo game, maybe Halo 2 and 3 or Halo 1 and 3 have something else to say about that, but like almost every Halo game, the assault rifle has always been like the switch out weapon. It's always been like that gun that you just kind of keep on you, and then like when you find a cooler gun or whatever, you kind of you switch it out with the assault rifle, because the assault rifle was just like, it's so much weaker compared to like all the other guns, and so there's just like it gives players like no incentive to like use it compared to like a DMR or a battle rifle. So the fact that the match starts out with an assault rifle and a sidekick is great, because it really allowed me to like go out it allowed me to use the assault rifle and actually do a good job with it. In fact, I got a 30 kill match one time. I got the Boogeyman medal, which is, by the way, a new one. Yeah, and I got like 0 deaths, and a lot of those kills were from the assault rifle, because it's just it really does incentive. It really brings, I guess, the golden triangle back, because I can like a lot of times I found myself like shooting and then melee, and it was just nice. It was a really good combo, and I just want to say that like the assault rifle, it felt good, and I love it. So BR, not too much to say about it, except that I do like it. It's good. I'm glad there's no like bloom on it or whatever. I mean, when I first like was playing, it was kind of hard for me to, I guess, work like not zoom with it, but like fire with it. It was just kind of hard to like get the tracing right. But I eventually got better with it, and I think it's the way that they're doing it. I think it's good. Like they don't need to change it much. Sidekick. So I think originally I was going to say I don't know how I felt about it, because like I couldn't aim with it like at all. I was really bad with it. But I actually, once I like switched around my FOV, because I normally run 120, but then once I realized that the reticle scales with the FOV, I switched it. I scaled it down to like 100, and that's a pretty good like level for me. And so when I did that, the sidekick got a lot better for me, and I like the sidekick. I'm glad now that they have the sidekick rather than the Magnum, because the Magnum, it's kind of like it's always had like a kind of different role in every game. It's either like super overpowered, or it's a literal Glock, or it's useless, or it's like the most powerful thing that you have in your loadout. So it's just it's really nice that we now have a sidearm that is actually a sidearm. It's not something like the sidekick is definitely not the type of gun that you would pull out and only use. Like, you'd probably want to use it like as a sidearm. So it's like you kind of put some rounds in with your assault rifle, maybe run out of ammo, then you switch over to your sidekick and finish them off. I like that. I like how the sidekick works. Now, don't get me wrong, I still miss the Magnum. I'm sure it will return, but if it could come back as more like a hand cannon or something like that, I'd be totally fine with that. Like, I think where the sidekick is great, and they should not replace like the Magnum with it. So, yeah. Commando, same thing with Commando. It was very difficult for me to get good with it or aim with it when I started out. I got a little bit better when I dropped the FOV slider. But honestly, I think I'm gonna need some more time with the commando. It's kind of like it's good. I definitely think there's potential in it. Because it really does pack a punch. It was very satisfying to get kills with it. It's very difficult for me to get kills with it. It's like the aiming is very difficult, and I don't know. It's just something about it. So, more time with that. Bulldog is pretty good. Since I do it mouse and keyboard, I have to like hold it down if I want it to fire faster. So if I click individually, it's not good. If I like click my mouse individually, I have to like hold it down, and that can always kind of create problems. Like, since this game is projectile based, it's kind of difficult to like I guess line up the shots. So Bulldog, it was fun to get kills with, but it was very, very hard to like get those kills sometimes, because I'd have to like either get like the tracing right or whatever, and it would just kind of be kind of annoying sometimes. But overall, I think it's good. I just, I think I need more time with it, just like the commando. Okay, so the sniper rifle, it's good. I think, I don't know. It's exactly like Halo 3's in terms of gameplay. Like, and for me, that kind of sucks for me, because I suck with the Halo 3 sniper rifle, and I've tried to get better with it, but it's so hard because like the projectile part of it is just so difficult for me to like get right, because I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. I can never get it right. So sniping with it was very difficult, but when I did get the kills, it was like very satisfying. So I think the sniper is just something that I kind of have to get better at. One thing that I think they helped with is like when you zoom in with the sniper rifle, it actually gives you a secondary circle, and I believe that's meant for projectile, like, so you can like line up your shots. So whenever like a Spartan enters that like outer circle, you can fire, and like you'll get the kill if he's like running like sideways or something. So I think that's like how it's supposed to work. I'm not too sure. I'd have to test it out more, but I can't, since it ended. But we'll see. Rocket launcher feels great. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's a rocket launcher. It's, it packs a punch. Has a pretty big area of effect, and I actually really like that, because it's a rocket launcher. Like, it should kill pretty far. And I did like how like sometimes I could like fire under a building. Like I could fire at an object rather than like directly at the player, and it would give me the kill. Like I feel like that makes sense. So I'm glad that I think the rocket launcher's in a good place. Moving on to like more of the Covenant or banished weapons. So the plasma pistol, I didn't like. I honestly, compared to all the others plasma pistols, I think this is like one of the worst ones. But I don't know. It's just because like the tracking on the plasma projectile is so bad. Like it's in every other Halo game, when you fire it at somebody, the tracking is, it tracks pretty well. And in this game, even though you have the red like sights, it almost like it barely even tries to track, and it really made me mad sometimes, because like I charge up and then fire at them and then just kind of go straight, like, and I don't know, maybe that the game is like, maybe that's how it's supposed to be, so I can like line up my shots or whatever more often. I don't know. I don't like it personally. Even like Halo 3 even had the tracking well, and that was projectile based game, so I don't even know. This also kind of applies for the Pulse Carbine as well. So, the Pulse Carbine, like, I don't think it's bad. It's difficult. Like, it's very difficult to get kills with, because the projectile, for one, the tracking is not so great, and also, it fires slow. Like, it shoots so, like, well, like, not shoot slow. Like, it's not like the fire rate. It's like, the projectiles, they go so slow. And so it never like ever hits the target. I don't know. Like I remember like during the the demo, the July demo, like it from what I remember seeing, it's like it shot pretty fast, like, and it was pretty precise, and I like that. I thought that was good. So kind of actually getting to use it, it's like, I don't know, I don't know, maybe they'll fix it. I feel like for both those plasma like based weapons, the tracking was terrible, and I really do hope that they'll improve on that. If not, then I guess I'll just not even touch plasma guns in the game. I don't know. I didn't really like them. I don't know. Maybe that was just a piece, like a keyboard and mouse problem. I don't know. I didn't like them. Moving on, Ravager. Ravager was pretty good. It's pretty straightforward. I think it has a good like pack, like it has a good amount of damage. It's not like to the point where it's OP. But it's not to the point where it's like underpowered or whatever. And I really do like that secondary fire where it like fires like that fire effect. I think they need to maybe increase the damage a bit, because from what I remember, it didn't do a lot of damage. Hopefully they can maybe increase that a bit. So, because I mean, you have to charge it up for a pretty long time. So surely, the payout should be that, that area of effect should, do a decent amount of damage. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll kind of increase that. But I do like how they're kind of giving us a weapon that allows for like area denial. So it's pretty cool. Skewer is great. I love the skewer. I had so much fun using it the first couple of days, or the first like day or two, because like it was so fun. Like, it was just so satisfying to kill Spartans with like a literal stake. And it was nice because like I didn't even have to like zoom in most of the time, and I actually got like no scope kills for it. I didn't even realize that it was like a sniper based weapon. Though it makes sense now. It's just like it was just so fun to like get somebody with it. So I like where it is. I mean, I think it's definitely think it's meant for more like vehicular combat rather than players. But so I definitely can't wait for Big Team Battle, using that in Big Team Battle. So yeah, it's good. The Needler is like honestly one of the best Needlers that ever, like in all the games. Honestly, I love the Needler so much. It works like kind of like an SMG, like it fires like an SMG, and it tracks so well. And honestly, it puts all the others to shame. Even Halo 5's, which was pretty good. But yeah, I love it so much. 343, please don't change it. I loved every bit of it. I mean, maybe it might be on the verge of overpowered. I don't know. I think it was pretty good. I don't know. I thought it was good. That's all I'll say. Heat Wave, I think has potential, but for me, I don't know. It was hard for me to get kills with it. I think if they increase the damage a bit, with like some of the shots, it'd be a little bit more powerful. I feel like the vertical shots, I feel like that should be like an insta-kill if you can get all the shots on the Spartan. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I think it was like a 2-hit if you got all the shots. And Sideways should be a little bit more to where maybe it's like a 2-hit kill rather than like a, what was it, like 3 or 4? I don't know. I think it was like 3-hit kill. So I think they should maybe just increase the damage a bit to where, Sideways is 2 hits and then, vertical is 1 hit. But, we'll see. Okay, so, oh wait, also Gravity Hammer, great. Well, okay, one thing about it that I'm not a big fan of is the charge up. I do not like how slow it hits. I understand that, like, the area of effect is more, like, I think it's been increased, but it's just so slow. Like, you have to really anticipate, like, a player coming at you. I mean, it feels powerful when you get kills with it. It just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. I'd probably have to play with it more. One thing I definitely do not like about the Gravity Hammer, though, is the melee. The melee is exactly as the attack animation is. They're both the same exact thing, except melee doesn't like have the gravity, I guess, energy or whatever to it. I really hate that. I think that the melee should be a much, like a much quicker swing, kind of like the other games. And I do not like that it's the same animation, but without the area of effect thing. So hopefully they'll give us a different animation by the time the game comes out, but I don't know. I won't count on it. So we'll see. Okay, so moving on to equipment, we got 5, but I just count for 3 since 2 of them are basically power-ups, and, they've kind of always been in Halo. So, drop wall, I think drop wall is pretty good. I definitely, it's very similar to that of, Halo 3's, like, drop shield or whatever. But, my biggest problem with it is, like, it's, I guess, startup. So, when you throw it, it's, like, about a full second of, like, where it won't even open up. It just kind of, you throw it, and it, it's, like, there. It just sits for a second, and then it shows up. And, personally, I think that's a little too long. I think it should be, like, when you drop it, like, the second it, like, hits the ground, it should activate. Because the fact that it, like, has, like, that 1 second afterwards, I just feel like is a little too, like, it doesn't help the player. Because, like, what if the guy's getting shot at, then he just throws it down, and then he gets killed probably before it even starts up. So now, who knows, maybe that's the design, so, like, that's kind of like the, I guess, throwback of, having the drop wall. But at the same time, the drop wall, like, only needs like 2 to 3 shots before, like, a section of it breaks. So I mean, I don't know. I personally think that if they could just make, like, I guess that the shield come up sooner, it'd be better. But yeah, so it's not bad, but it's not amazing either. Scanner, I don't know. There's nothing much to say about it except that it's all right. Maybe. I mean, what's actually kind of funny and goofy about it is that you can actually like put that thing on Spartans, and it can actually be very tactical if you think of it. Because if you, like, say you put, like, a sensor on your Spartan, like on your teammate, then you could, like, send that teammate out, and he could, like, go to the enemy, and then he could he could paint every target so that once he dies, if he dies, the rest of your team can kind of go in and know exactly where the team is, and it'd be pretty good. I just think that it's, I don't know, maybe it scans a little too slow or something. I don't know. It's just, I'm kind of mixed about it, but I do like how, like, I do like the feature that it actually does attach to Spartans, because, like, a bot actually shot me with a sensor, and I, like, was walking around with, like, a literal enemy scanner on it, and that can really, like, make you, like, put your team to a disadvantage. Because, like, what if you, like, regroup with your team afterwards? You're just painting yourself and the entire team. So it can be pretty good. So grapple shot, this goes without question. This is, like, one of the best features ever added to Halo. Honestly, this is, like, something we've never, like, the grapple shot is, like, something we never have asked for, but we've always needed, honestly, because it's just so much fun. I have, like, a handful of clips with, like, just grapple shot gameplay, and it's just, I've had so much fun with that equipment alone, because you just do so many wacky things with it, and there's so many things we still have yet to do with it, like nuke cubes and such. Probably my most favorite feature about the grapple shot is that I can grapple weapons. I didn't record it, but I had a teammate run after the gravity hammer, and I was at, like, the higher level, and I grappled the gravity hammer to myself, and I, like, ran by, and he was, like, confused, and he, like, looked over at me, and I, like, teabagged a second, and then I ran. It was very fun to use that, and also just, like, I'd like sometimes run around that, like, little hook, and then, like, I'd grapple the gravity hammer over to me right before I, like, went back into the action. So it was just, the grapple shot is, like, awesome. I was very scared, and it's funny because I was very scared of the equipment, of that equipment, when it was first announced. So I'm very happy with what we have when it comes to the rifle shot. Camo and overshield, they're pretty straightforward. They work the same way. I will point out, I like how, for one, you can use them whenever, but also camo. You are invisible like at base speed. I like that. It makes sense, and since base speed is already pretty fast, it will be useful. So yeah, it was good. So that's pretty much for equipment. Moving on, bots. Bots were fun. They felt pretty balanced. I mean, I have to admit, it was very annoying getting a Steak-tacular like every single game. I don't think there was ever a game I did not get a Steak-tacular except for like the PvP, but it was just, I mean, it was annoying, but like the bots themselves were pretty balanced. Like they do pick up a fight, and they do have, very, tactical features. Like, they crouch shoot, they would throw grenades at you, and they'd bounce grenades. I think they actually teabag too. I never saw one teabag, but I'm pretty sure they actually do teabag enemies, which is absolutely hilarious. One thing that I wasn't a big fan of, but I mean, I understand, it was definitely the aimbot. It was just very annoying that I couldn't have certain, I couldn't do certain actions because the bots would know exactly what I was where exactly I was, or what exactly I was gonna do, and then they'd kill me before I could. One time I tried grappling all the way to the 3rd floor, and I think my shields were dropped, and there was another bot at the 2nd level, and I think and because he's a literal computer, he saw me zip by and probably instantly got a headshot on me or something. So it was just kind of annoying how they have that literal aimbot where they can just tap keep shooting me in the head and get those insta kills, and it was annoying, but it's understandable because they're literal bots. So yeah. PvP was okay. I only got to play one literal match before the thing crashed, and that kind of upsetted me because if you guys look, I have a 16-minute stream, and that was me attempting to do PvP, but my literal Wi-Fi crashed or whatever. So yeah, PvP. I mean, from what I got to play, the one match, it was pretty good. I feel like it was a mess. It was what I was expecting. It was a mess. I think there was a lot of lagging, and the hit there was multiple times I'd grab the rocket launcher, and then it would not register the hits on the players. So it was just kind of a mess, and I understand why, because even 343 said they didn't really even know if they were going to have PvP come out during this preview. So I understand why it was a mess. I think just once we get more refined PvP, it will be fun. But for what I got to play, it was still pretty good. So yeah. In terms of customization, I loved it. I thought the armor looks great. The literal renders of the customization, they look clean. It's good. Kind of annoyed that some of the armors wouldn't show up on the I couldn't preview certain armor pieces, which kind of sucked. But it was it was still great. Armor coatings are, I like them. I've never really, like I've said, I've never really I don't have a problem with seeing my own unique skin. And I don't mind that I can pay money to get what I want, rather than a loot box system or something. So personally, I think the armor coatings are pretty good. And I wore Scorpion Punch throughout it all because I'm pretty sure it's a Mass Effect reference. I don't know. It looks very similar to Commander Shepard's armor. I don't know. They might have been referencing Mass Effect. I'm sure they were, but I loved it. So I wore that one throughout it, and I really liked it. AIs were honestly really great. There was a few, 2 of them that, I think it was Lumu and the Triangle, I think, that I didn't like. It was just because, the voicing was just... I mean, it was just kind of annoying when I'd be playing. Like, Luma was just annoying because, like, she'd do, like, that boastful laughter and be like, ha, ah. It was just annoying while I was literally, you know, playing. And then Triangle's just kind of annoying because he's like that he's like that kind of basic enthusiastic person that he's like Pathfinder almost. I don't know, he's kind of annoying. My favorite were Butler and Cirque, I think are their names. Because Cirque is kind of like the lady from WandaVision, Agatha, I think. She's kind of have like that kind of enthusiasm, so it was just kind of fun to listen to. And then Butler was just kind of like that stoic Chad dude. I don't know. It was really fun to listen to him, though there was a few times I just kind of get annoyed by what he'd say. And I do love some of the references. One of them was like with like the colors or whatever. One of them for pink was Lightest Red, which is a just literal one-for-one reference to Red versus Blue, which I love that. But yeah, prosthetics were another thing. I really like that. I mean, it's kind of weird that like you can have prosthetics for both arms and legs. I mean, I think it's a cool feature. I wouldn't do it myself because like I don't want to look like a literal robot running around. But I just had like one arm as my prosthetic. It was like it was just like the arm. It wasn't like the full arm. It was just like the limb, I think. I don't know. Like I don't know my anatomy. When it came to the Academy, it was pretty cool. I actually think the Academy is really cool that we can have the weapon drills. I definitely will be going to the weapon drills for like my sniping, so I can improve on that because, you know, like I said before, I'm really bad with the sniper. So Academy, the weapon drills, it's really nice that I can like go to the weapon drills and practice on enemy bots. So I'm really looking forward to that in launch. But yeah, honestly, that kind of gets all my thoughts out. And you know, I'm sorry if this video is long. I'm sure this will get out like 20 minutes or 30. I'm not I don't know. I don't have my counter right next to me, so I can't tell. But honestly, this preview, for what so little we got, it was awesome. I loved it. I loved how much fun I had with just so small. Like, and that's what really like kind of gets me is we literally only got Bot Slayer and weapon drills and a little bit of customization, and I had so much fun with like those 3 small things. And that's why like I'm so excited, because I can't imagine how, for one, Big Team Battle is going to be, you know, actual PvP is going to be, the campaign, the hopefully Forge, and from what I saw in the settings, Theater's coming back. I do believe that like this is going to be like a very big game. Now I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like, I'm not gonna jump to conclusions and say like, oh, this is Halo, you know, most perfect Halo game or whatever. No, we haven't played all of it. I haven't played all of it yet, so I can't jump to conclusions and say this is the most absolute perfect Halo game. So from what I got to play, I did really love it, and I do think that 343 are going in the right way, and I just hope that they don't screw it up, you know? Because what I got to play was absolutely amazing. I loved it. But yeah, that about wraps it up. So guys, if you know, actually let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and if you really like this video and liked how I did it, then maybe consider subbing or dropping that like. Really means a lot to me. If you didn't like it, you know, that's totally fine. If you want to dislike it, totally fine. But yeah, actually, hold on, before I do, I was going to explain why it took me forever, like why it's been so long since I've posted a video. Maybe I'll do that later, I'm not sure, but I don't know. I'll just put it in short. My summer was stressful, so it was really hard for me to kind of want to put stuff out there because of how much stuff I had going on. And also, there wasn't really a lot of Halo news, honestly. So I just never really felt like there was anything worth posting as well. So that's pretty much why I've been kind of in the dark for like about 2 months or so. So I apologize, but you know, commitment is kind of a hard thing with, you know, YouTube. But if you guys actually also, I'll go to that. So because I wasn't posting much on YouTube, I actually jumped to TikTok, and I've actually I have my very own TikTok account. So if you guys want to check out some funny clips I've made and some funny edits, go check me out. It's cadence22_TT. TT means TikTok. And I've actually one of my videos got like 3,400 views. I was very very happy with myself when I got that. So I'm just kind of trying different levels for social media, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing on TikTok. So I'll be trying to do that. I'll try to be keeping up with YouTube, but also TikTok, so I can kind of grow, get myself to grow. So anywho, that's all I have to say. I love you guys, love the support. Cue outro.